The decision, written in ink, erased in blood. In history, some decisions are not made with loud voices, nor announced in speeches, but quietly, with a single pen on a single sheet of paper. This particular decision, if it hadn't been written, a city would not have fallen, and the course of an entire nation would not have changed. The question I want you to keep in mind until the end of this video is the problem with the decision itself or with its timing? At that time, the country was under immense pressure. Not a direct military siege, but a siege of choices. Every path led to loss. Every delay increased the cost. And in the heart of this scene, there was one man with the power to sign. He wasn't a dictator, nor weak. He was a statesman who believed compromises could save nations. And he was right, most of the time. The decision was presented to him late at night, the document ready, recommendations clear, time pressing. The decision was to withdraw from a strategic position, not a total defeat, but a repositioning. On paper, it seemed logical. The military advisor said calmly, "Signing now will prevent bigger losses later." The political advisor said, "The world will understand this move." As for him, he remained silent. He asked for a short delay, just a few minutes. He looked at the map, at the names, at the lines that meant nothing to the public, but meant everything on the ground. Then he signed. Nothing happened that night. No explosions, no breaking news. It was a quiet decision, and that was its danger. The next day, the withdrawal began, organized, controlled, without chaos. But something unexpected happened. The soldiers felt something strange, not fear, but emptiness. The position they had defended for years was now abandoned with a few written words. The news reached the other side, not through espionage, but through reality. They saw the movement. They understood the message. And there, the limited retreat turned into a golden opportunity. Days later, the enemy entered the position, without any real fight, but the effect was shocking. The nearby city trembled, morale collapsed, and the questions began. The public didn't understand the details. They didn't read the reports. They understood only one thing: we retreated. And that alone was enough to ignite outrage. In parliament, in the press, in the streets, one question repeated itself: why now? And no one had a convincing answer. The leader tried to explain, to justify, to clarify. But decisions understood by reason may be rejected by feeling. Weeks later, the situation deteriorated. The enemy did not stop at the first position. They advanced further. Because the first retreat broke the psychological barrier. Only then did the leader realize the painful truth. The decision was not wrong in itself, but in its timing. If it had been delayed by a week, maybe something would have changed. If it had been presented differently, maybe people would have understood. But history does not accept maybe. In an emergency meeting, one military leader said, "We should have fought, even if we lost." He didn't mean the battle only, but the message. The city eventually fell. Not immediately, but inevitably. And with it fell something more dangerous: trust. The leader wasn't imprisoned, nor exiled, but he resigned. And in his final speech, he said just one sentence: "I wanted to save lives and lost the land." Pause for a moment and imagine yourself in his place. Would you prefer a rational decision that only experts understand, or a hard decision that people can feel? Write your opinion in the comments. Years later, historians wrote about this stage. Some said the decision was necessary. Others said it was the beginning of the end. But everyone agreed on one thing: sometimes the pen is more dangerous than the sword. This story is not just about war. It's about every crucial decision. In work, in relationships, in life. How many times have we made a right decision, but at the wrong time? How many times have we said, "This is the solution," but ignored the psychological impact? In the end, the decision was never erased from history. It remained, as a harsh lesson. Wisdom is not only in the correctness of the decision, but in its timing, its delivery, and who bears its consequences. Before you leave the video, I want you to answer honestly. Do you think timing can turn a correct decision into a disaster? And why? If you enjoyed this type of story and the way it reveals what history books rarely tell, write in the comments, "The decision is deadlier than the battle." Because the next story will be about one moment of hesitation that made victory impossible.